Hey there, my name's Alex. Thanks for joining me on your mat. Today, we are going to be doing a hand, finger, and wrist strengthening and mobility routine. This is really great as someone who practices yoga because we tend to put a lot of weight in our wrists and hands if we are doing postures like down dog or arm balances, anything where we might be putting weight forward. This is going to help protect your wrists and your hands, warming them up and helping keeping them strong so you can continue practicing for years and years. This is also a great routine for someone who works with their hands a lot. Maybe you're a server like my gal Lauren, a massage therapist, a mechanic, a hairstylist, maybe even a fitness instructor. These exercises, again, will help protect your wrists, keep your hands moving well, and your hands and fingers feeling good. So with that being said, let's start on our knees. And if you like, you can tuck your toes. I like to tuck my toes to get a foot and toe stretch. But if it's uncomfortable at all, you can always just come down on your heels like so. Coming on my heels, you're going to want to place your hands about a hand's length apart away from your knees, opening your fingers wide, placing your hands firmly on the mat, but not putting too much pressure, and we're going to rock forward and backward, working in that wrist crease line, really feeling into the edge there. What I mean feeling into the edge is finding that balance between a stretch and not feeling pain. You don't want to be going into that pain threshold. It should just feel like a very good stretch. Continue rocking. Nice job. Let's lift our hands and turn our fingers 90 degrees. From here, we're just going to make some circles. Again, warming up those wrists. Keeping our fingers wide on our mat. And switching directions. These exercises are also really good if you want to pick and choose a couple for a moment's time. You don't necessarily need to do this whole video in one go every time you're feeling the need for some wrist stretching, but you definitely can. However, picking and pulling a couple exercises to take with you is always a good idea. Bringing your hands up, let's rotate those fingers another 90 degrees so your fingers are going to point towards your knees. And you're just going to gently lift those wrists up. Maybe feel a little tight like me right now. Again, not putting too much pressure into those wrists. This is a gentle stretch. These can be sensitive areas. And we want to be kind to ourselves. Couple more rocks. Nice, coming up. Giving your wrists a little shake. We got one more in this rocking series. So now placing the tops of our hands on the mat, fingers still pointing towards our knees, arms as straight as we can, not locking them out, gently straightening them, and lifting our wrists up and down. Very good. Just a couple more. Nice, coming back up, shaking those wrists out. And very nice. Next, we're going to work on our fingers. So again, placing our hands about hand's length away from our knees. Coming up onto all fours in this position. And we're just going to lift, lower, lower. So when you lift, you're lifting up to right where your palm meets the bottom of your finger. And when you lift again, you're just coming up on to the last kind of pointer ends of your fingers. So you're kind of working in that knuckle. So let's try a few. So lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower. Couple more. You get the routine. Just working in this little groove, little action groove. One more. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Nice. Coming back. Shaking it out, flicking those fingers out. Let's go to some strengthening. With this, we are going to do finger flicks. So kind of putting your fingers on your thumb like you're flicking water at somebody. If you have long nails, you can always just touch the tip of your thumb. And we're going to be making fast flicks in a circular motion. We'll do 3 rounds, and if you get tired, that's okay. We're going to do our best to make it through, and you might feel the lactic acid building up in your arms, but do your best to power all the way to the end. But again, if your toes are getting tired, please come down on to your heels or take an easy seat. I'm going to stay on my toes. As a runner, I need that extra stretch. All right, here we go. Flicking, keeping our elbows in towards our torso, bringing our hands up all the way, out to the side, back in front of us, tucking them back, leaning forward and dropping your wrists, and back up. Ooh, let's go again, all the way to the top, out to the side, bringing it back in, pushing our hands forward, tucking our elbows back. Ooh, I'm feeling it. Coming forward, bending those wrists. And back up. One more. Let's do it. Come on, push through all the way up. Out to the sides. Back in. Forward. Almost there. Back in. Leaning, dropping those wrists. Back up. And good. Shake it out. Woo! I can definitely feel that. All right. Let's do a couple more exercises just to stretch it out. Bring your hands together, clasp those fingers, and make some figure eights. Really stretching out those wrists. I really like to do this one during the day, whenever I've got time to pass, just really stretching them out and switch directions. Maybe takes a moment like it does for me. Very good. Releasing, one last shake. And the last one, bring your hands together into prayer position. Rolling your hands so the backs of the hands come together as you bring them down and back up, down, and prayer. Roll to the back and forward, all the way up to prayer. Now let's roll it all the way through, down and up, prayer, forward, and prayer. Down, back of the hands, prayer, forward, prayer. One more. Down and up to prayer, forward, back to prayer. Very good. Shaking it out. If you sat on your toes the whole time like I did, coming into an easy pose. Maybe flicking those toes a little bit, giving them a little rest, tapping them on the floor. Got a little extra with this video. Didn't tell you we were doing some toe stretching. Anyway, really appreciate you watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. in the comment section below, and I hope it helped you loosen up those wrists, get them a little stronger, and make you feel a little better. Namaste.